Alright guys, I'm Dr. Khan and much of my channel talks about how to naturally control your diabetes, but of course we need to be able to measure and know at least what we are measuring. Now there's something called hemoglobin A1C and I'm going to talk all about this in this video right now. So basically this tells you what has been going on with your blood sugar lately. Get an A1C test to find out what is your average sugar levels. And this is of course important if you are at risk for pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes, or if you already have diabetes and you're trying to control it. And this A1C test is also called the hemoglobin A1C or HbA1C. And it is a simple blood test that measures your average blood sugar levels over the past 3 months. And it is one of the most common ways to find out if someone actually has pre-diabetes or diabetes. It is also one of the main tests your healthcare team will use to, help manage your diabetes. And higher A1C levels are linked to diabetes complications. So if you have diabetes, it is very important to reach and keep your A1C goal. So what actually is this A1C test looking for? When sugar gets into your bloodstream, it sticks to hemoglobin, a protein in your red blood cells. And everyone's hemoglobin has some sugar on it, but people with higher blood sugars actually have more of it, and this is what it measures. Now, when and who should get an A1C test? So everybody should get a baseline A1C test if you are an adult over 45 years of age, or you are under 45 years of age and are overweight, or have one or more risk factors for pre-diabetes or diabetes type 2. And risk factors for diabetes include people who had gestational diabetes, that is when you were pregnant, females of course, and you had diabetes during pregnancy and not after that. Then people with a family history of diabetes are one, and then people who are overweight and obese, they could also have risk factors for diabetes. Now, how should you actually get ready for this test? This test sometimes can be done at the doctor's office, or you have to go to a lab, and a blood sample is taken from your arm, of course. To actually get ready for this test, you actually don't need to do anything special. But ask your doctor if there will be any other tests done at the same time, so you don't have to keep getting yourself stuck. Now, what are the normal levels? Anything below 5.7% is considered normal. Now, people with pre-diabetes, their levels will be between 5.7% to 6.4%. And if your A1C is more than 6.5 or higher, then that is suggesting that you do have diabetes. And the higher your A1C level, the higher you will get chances of getting complications earlier. Now, we can also tell how has your sugar control been just by looking at your A1C levels. So basically in the US, if your A1C level was 7, we know that your sugar levels were hovering around 154 milligrams per deciliter. And then if your A1C was 8, then we know that your sugar levels were actually running around 183 milligrams per deciliter. If your A1C was 9, then we know your sugar levels were around 212 milligrams per deciliter averaging. And then if your A1C is 10, then you were hovering around 240 milligrams per deciliter. Now, this test is normally fairly accurate, but there could be reasons why your A1C number may be wrong, and you may not need to worry about it too much. Of course, your doctor will tell you if you have a liver disease or a kidney disease, or you actually have severe anemia, then this level could be not that correct for you. Then certain ethnicities can actually have a higher A1C level. Let's say African descent people, people from the Mediterranean, people from the Southeast Asian region, or people with sickle cell anemia or thalassemias, which are blood disorders. They may end up having a higher A1C level. So don't worry about it. Talk to your doctor. If you have these conditions, the doctor will tell you which is your accurate A1C. And you could also have an aberrant A1C level if you are on medications like opiates, which are the painkillers, and even with some HIV drugs, these levels could be incorrect. And especially if somebody is actually getting some external blood, then you of course know that will of course mess up your A1C findings. Now, what should be your target for A1C if you do have diabetes? Now, for most people with diabetes, you look to keep your A1C less than 7%, but of course, the lower you can get it, the better it is. And of course, your goal will depend upon many things like your age, whether or not you may have any other health problems. So set your A1C goal with the help of your doctor and try to get even better than that. One thing to keep in mind, of course, with anybody with diabetes is that your sugar should not drop to a very low level. Then you, of course, could have mood swings and you could have serious health complications, including passing out, falling down, and hitting yourself, or people can develop seizures when the sugar levels dropped markedly. That could be a significant problem. So, of course, everybody is going to be different. A lot of people will have these low sugar problems called hypoglycemia. A lot of people may not. But again, try to keep a good, decent level. So A1C is just an important tool for managing diabetes, but it does not take the place of testing your blood sugar level at home on a regular basis. Your A1C does not show that your blood sugar goes up and down during the day or of course at night as well. And two people can have the same A1C even though one person's blood sugar always stays steady and the others actually goes up and down. So it does not measure the fluctuations in your sugar levels, and we all know that wide fluctuations up and down could be bad for you even though you may have a good A1C. And if you do reach your A1C goal but you still feel like your blood sugar level is too high or too low, check it more often and at different times of the day. Keep track of the results and talk to your doctor how you can manage your diabetes a little better. And if you're really interested to catch diabetes just by the symptoms, then look at this video for the 7 ways by you can spot diabetes through its symptoms. And guys, this is what I talk about, so subscribe to the channel right over here as well. Talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much.